Happy Philosophical Friday to you. In the fitness industry, there have, as always, been a quote I've loved. It's without strength, you have none to give. I used to have that on the marquee outside of outside of GPP, and you can still find it written on the walls if you look hard enough for it. It's there. It has always resonated with me. I've loved it, and the reason is because I've always thought that the pursuit of health and fitness was deeper and more important than just how somebody looks. Not that looking good isn't important. I think it is. I think you have to look good. At least you have to feel like you look good. I feel like looking good is an emotional piece of your health that shouldn't be neglected, and I think it does affect you physically and mentally. And we can get into that later. But I want to tell you a story about my favorite quote, and it just happened yesterday, so it's fresh on my mind, and I wanted to just kind of share it with you on Philosophical Friday. I was talking to Rob yesterday. Rob started GPP down in Salt Lake about 3 months ago, not 3 years ago. And Rob's about my age. He's kind of a young pup. I think he's a little younger than I am. But the thing to know about that is that guys my age really find it tough to do burpees. They aren't easy. Plus, he's carrying a little more weight than he'd like to, according to him. And that makes burpees even harder. And if you're new to them and haven't done them a lot, man, they can be tough. And I was so impressed because that workout that we did the other day that started off with 30 burpees, he smoked them. He did, which is cool about burpees. If you're under 6 foot, eventually someday burpees come together for you. They do. They do. I know you just argued with that. But so I was complimenting him. I was telling him good job, and this was after his workout last night. And he was such a stud. There was him and Matt and I, and we were talking after the workout. And Matt was kind of keeping him honest about his diet, and I was talking to him a little bit about that. But he put all that stuff off, that whole 50 pounds. I want to look good. Remember, I'm on board with that. If you want to look good, you need to look good. I think it's a piece of your health. But don't forget the stuff that's really important. And here's an example of that. Rob looks me square in the eye, and he kind of slows everything down. He brings it down, and he goes, "Can I just tell you something?" He goes, "My wife," and I kind of knew the story of his wife, but he reiterated it for me. He goes, "My wife has a debilitating degenerative disease. In fact, she's in a wheelchair. She's confined to a wheelchair now, and she'll never get out of that wheelchair. We hope she does. We'll continue to treat her, but her health is degenerated to the point where she's almost fully dependent on me for getting around." And he says, I wouldn't mind losing this 50 or 60 extra pounds. I like that. He goes, "But do you know what's more important to me? It's more important to me that I now, anytime she asks me to, can get up and transfer her to anywhere she wants to go. Her quality of life is better now because I took some control. And I just want to thank you for that, Neil." And I was like, I didn't say this, but I am not worthy of that thank you. And that meant a lot to me. And it was interesting to see a bunch of us guys sitting there. I got a little, I don't know, I guess I got teary. Let's not say teary. Misty from the thought of that. Because it just goes along with my thought that this physical thing that we do, this exercise thing that we do, this getting in shape thing that we do has meaning. It has transfer, and it goes far beyond just how one looks. It's okay to look good. You ought to look good. And if you're struggling with your health, you ought to be fixing that. But remember why we do this. And here we are, almost halfway into our 40-day challenge. Most of us have got right near 20 workouts. And tomorrow, when you're sore, because we're all super sore, and while you're tired and you're trying to figure out why in the hell we're all doing this, I want you to remember this story that Rob told us. And just remember that without strength, you have none to give.